Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another video by yours truly. It is high time we update our Tingyun build guide. We put one out at the very early stages of Honkai Star Rail, which definitely helped a tremendous amount of people, got a lot of traction too. But it's time we update it because there is now a new way I run her, and it is the only way I run my Tingyun. She is one of the most god tier units in the entirety of the game. I feel she is incapable of being power crept. She can't be power crept. No, she can't be power crept by Huo. How you gonna power creep a Harmony character with a healer when you can just run them both on the same team? Tiny brain syndrome. Anyways, getting back to it, Tingyun, how do you run her? Why is she broken? You know, what is the substats you need to aim for? Do you go for offense? Do you go for Tingyun? My thoughts around the dynamic of her kit, how you run her, has changed a good degree since we've last seen. Not really, but just really more so as to what her purpose is when you're putting her on a team. So there's a lot to talk about there, and we will be putting out updated build guides for any other characters that I made builds for in the past, such as Silver Wolf. And then of course we still got to get to Gwynife, and I know you guys are waiting on that. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. But before we hop into all that, allow me to plug in our lovely sponsor for today's video. Have you heard of Omni Heroes? It's a casual strategy RPG that has received recommendations from both Google Play and the App Store. It takes place inside of a fantasy world and revolves around you playing the hero to rescue these lovely Valkyries being held captive by terrifying demons. And let me tell you something, rescuing these Valkyries, it's the best part of the job, if you know what I'm saying. Now, when it comes to the gameplay, players can summon over 100 exquisitely designed heroes to build team compositions with their unique and intricate synergy system. 17 whopping synergies to be precise and counting. The beautiful thing about Omni Heroes is the creativity and freedom of this combat system. It's up to you and your ingenious mastermind to concoct and cook these broken compositions I know you're capable of. By the way, do you enjoy yourself some nice quality of life perks inside of a video game? I know I do. One of my favorite perks to indulge in for Omni Heroes is the automated system. Sometimes after a long day of work, I don't have a brain cell left to spare. And so being able to auto battle, and hell, even skip battles entirely and collect the rewards in full is a very nice perk to have. Wait, how are you going to rescue these lovely Valkyries and enjoy all of these wonderful perks if you haven't even downloaded the game yet? Click the link down below in the description box or the pinned comment in the comment section to gain access to 777 free summons along with 5 legendary heroes. Yeah, you can thank me later. And while you're at it, mark your calendars for November 17th because a brand new event and season is releasing by the name of Ashen Phantom. You'll be getting a monumental update to the story along with a new roguelike gameplay system. I personally love myself some roguelikes. Lastly, I'd like to give a huge thank you and shout out to Omni Heroes for sponsoring this video. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys the summary of the entirety of the build, the whole entire formula, and then we'll go into all the good details after the fact. Generally, attack percent wise, I strive to get to 2200 to 2500 attack. If you land within that ballpark, you're golden, okay? If you don't, try to get close within that ballpark. And don't worry about all the little details, trust. Now, light cone, dance, 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 nothing else. I'm not kidding, nothing else, unless you don't have dance, dance, dance. Now we'll get into that. But if you have dance, 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 nothing else is better than dance, dance, dance on your Tingyun. Again, we'll get into the details later. If you don't have dance, 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 then every other light cone can be applicable to her except this one. This one's dog shit. But essentially, if you don't have dance, 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 all the Harmony light cones work with her. Like this one right here, Planetary Rendezvous. Obviously, if you have a lightning DPS on the team, you can run that. It'll work tremendously well. If you have this, it's not the best option because she doesn't need the extra 10 energy. Skill point is nice, but the skill that gives 30% damage bonus, it's not that good on Tingyun because she skills, autos, and then skills. And for some DPSs, she skills auto, and then skills. So it's not the best option for her, but it is an option, 100%. The Battle Pass Light Cone, also good. pretty much, like I said, you can run pretty much any Harmony Light Cone on her, outside of this one if you don't have Dance Dance Dance. Traces, you pretty much want to focus on these two right here if you're running a real low budget, right? If you're running low on resources, just focus on these two right here. Skill Benediction buff gives up to like a 650 attack bonus over to your DPS. This right here is a flat out damage bonus along with giving them a battery. So obviously you want to shoot these up as much as possible because that's what enables your DPS to pop off. Relic pieces. The best set in the game for her is the speed set. 100%, not even a debate. This is the best set in the game for Tingyun. Again, we'll get into all the details later. Down here in the middle, do not fall for the attack percent bait. Do not fall for the space ceiling station bait. Good for as you're progressing in the earlier stages of the game because you ain't gonna have nothing else. But once you get into the the end game and you're big dicking it, this is a trap, this is a bait, don't go for it. Go for the supportive sets, which is going to be Fleet of the Ageless or Broken Keel, so that your whole party can eat off of this, and your whole party can eat off this, as well as Tingyun gets a little bit more tankier. Those are the only two options I recommend. I don't recommend anything else. These two are going to be absolute banger for your Tingyun. Finally, Eidolons, E6. It is ideal if you can, obviously. I mean, that could be pretty much a measure or a metric that can be, applicable to any damn body. E6 them, E6 your Jing Liu, E6 your Silverwolf. Now, but the only thing you really need for your Tingyun is E2. That's all. You don't need anything else. This you do kind of need for people like Kafka because the extra 10 energy enables her to get her ult up immediately when you go into battle. And then there's the other DPS like Tingyun who don't need this. Their ult comes up despite her not giving the extra 10 energy. So that's a bit of a conversation there. But if you have her E2, you're ready to rock and roll, 100%. The most broken thing about Tingyun's entire Eidolons is this though. After using their ultimate, the ally with Benediction gains a 20% increase in speed. This is the most broken thing about all of her Eidolons, because that coupled with the speed set totals to 32% speed boost given to your DPS. So now we can get into all the little details. The reason Tingyun is so damn broken is because she gives up to a 650-ish attack boost over to your DPS of your choosing for 3 whole turns. She gives a 50% damage bonus around there depending on investment in ult. She gives a 50 to 60 energy battery boost, and then she gives a 32% speed boost. On top of all of that, when you run her with the Dance Light Cone, your DPS, whomever you're running with her, can pretty much run and damage dealing speed or a damage dealing boot over a speed boot while still being able to go twice, because Tingyun's giving them a 32% speed boost as well as an action value advancement with Dance. She pretty much makes them lightning fast to the point where even slow ass characters like Blade with an HP boot at sitting at 107 speed will still be able to go twice. And that's because once he pops his ult, 20% speed boost, Tingyun advances him forward with Dance, 12% speed boost with the set, boom, going multiple times. This is quite literally how I run my Tingyun today. I quite literally don't do her any other way. There's no other way to run her. She's just cracked with this entire build. Now, in terms of speed, there is no such thing as not giving her enough speed. Give her as much speed as possible. She's one of the units that can go 3 times way easier than any other units in the game, especially if you're pairing her up with an Asta. If you pair her up with an Asta, she's going 3 times. Absolutely, especially with Asta. So that's what you want to strive for. My Tingyun sits around 140 to 150 speed on average. I haven't really over invested into speed like that. So I know some people have like 160 and 170. Yeah, you don't really need all that. 150 and you're good to go. Defense and HP, or Tingyun versus offensive Yun. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I've always wanted to go offensive Yun, but I just don't have I never feel the need to invest in the resources to do so. She's one of the units that can also auto attack for 20,000 damage, but going out of my way just to see that is just not worth it. So the way I've been running her today, you see this 2400 attack, I don't even need that. I'd rather dump this attack percent main stat body right here and put on an HP percent main stat so that she can survive. Unless I'm running her with a Fu Xuan. Fu Xuan gives her a 10% crit rate boost and makes her unkillable to the point where you absolutely should be running an offensive Tingyun with the Fu Xuan. But for the most part, because I'm always 0 cycling, I always put, like, I try to get her to as much HP as possible, as much defense as possible. So if you have 3,471 HP on your Tingyun, try and strive for like 1,200 defense. My defense is it's okay. It's not the best. But if you have 3,500 HP, she'll be all right. Now let's get into main stat and sub stat. Again, Tingyun, obviously, HP percent or defense percent right here. You do not need attack percent. We'll get into that. We ain't gonna go ham because I'm not arguing with people who don't understand that it's a factual data, but we are gonna at least touch up on it. But HP percent or defense percent if you're going for Tingyun, and if you're going for 20k attack, auto attack Tingyun, I would go for a crit rate piece right here. Tingyun is the better overall build just because most of the time you're trying to get her to survive and just give her buffs over, right? So HP or defense percent main stat right here. What are the substats you should go for? Speed, effect resistance, attack percent, and then a survivability stat like HP or defense. So that's it. One more time: speed, effect resistance, survivability stat, and I forgot the last one, attack percent. There you go. Right here, speed 100% because you want to be able to go 3 times with her if you can, and if you build her with enough speed, she can go 3 times. Right here, attack percent 100% because you do need that attack percent right here to give a pretty much the maximum benediction bonus. So attack percent right here on this one, and then finally energy recharge right here. There is no reason to go anything else. Prioritize getting your Tingyun's ult up as much as possible because when she gets it up, she uses dance. She can activate dance, speeding up your whole team. Bonuses uptime is going to be there. Do not go anything else other than energy recharge. Trust. Do not go anything else, man. Also, because Tingyun is one of those characters who has Tingyun immediately regenerates 5 energy at the start of her turn, right? She's one of those characters that has a little more energy recharge intricacies in her kit, and those scale off of that energy recharge rope that you have. Now, again, you might think, oh, it's just an extra 1 energy. That shit adds up, bro. Trust me. It'll be times where you're missing your ult by being up by 1 or 2 or 3 energy. Now, let's talk about how much attack your Tingyun should have. So there were people in the past who just didn't understand how she worked. They didn't understand the wording of this description right here. And honestly, I don't even feel like going back over it again. I'm just going to touch up on it. And you can either listen to me or you can not listen to me and be wrong. That's up to you. I'm just going to touch it briefly. This right here scales off of the DPS of your choosing's base attack, not their total, their base. This right here scales off of your Tingyun's total attack, not her base, her total. So 50% of the base attack of the DPS that you're choosing, 25% of the total attack of Tingyun. They've basically designed it in a way to where you can't give your DPS a ridiculous amount of attack. It's pretty much capped at about 650 attack. That's why I said you want to aim to be around 22 to 2,500 attack for Tingyun. Why 22 to 2,500, Smack? Because that's going to be in the 600 attack ballpark if you're at 22, and if you're at 25, it's going to be at the 650 attack ballpark. So you don't stress if you can't get to 25 because 50 attack extra given to your DPS does not do anything because most DPS in this game are sitting at 4, 5 to 6,000 attack after all buffs have been given to them. Case in point, Jing Liu's already sitting at 3,000 attack, but once I pop her ult and go inside of her ult and do all the damage, she's sitting at 6,000 attack after the benediction bonus and all this shit going on. So giving her an extra 50 attack just so I can say my Tingyun's giving her the maximum benediction bonus, but I butchered my Tingyun's crit, or I butchered my Tingyun's survivability, all to give my DPS a extra 50 attack is the dumbest fucking mindset ever. Like it's objectively a dumbass mindset. So, and that's the same concept that's going to apply to her 2-piece relic inside of here. You don't want to go for a space sealing station to give your Tingyun an extra 24% attack when you can give your whole party a 10% crit damage bonus or your whole party 8% attack damage bonus. And guess what? The 8% attack damage bonus to the DPS is bigger than the remaining benediction buff gap you're trying to close. So that is pretty much the entirety of how you run your Tingyun. Run her with about 22 to 2,500 attack and everything else I just stated in this video. Now, y'all can take this God tier advice or you cannot. That is up to you. I won't fight you on that. That's gonna be the only way I will run my Tingyun guide, okay? Thanks for watching. I hope I brought you guys some value, and I'll catch you on the flip side.